problem number 30, the coefficient of d squared is not equal to 1. For you to complete the square, the coefficient of your quadratic term should be equal to 1. Okay, so what do we do? Yes. Good. Okay, we multiply both sides by 2. So if you multiply both sides by 2, this is what's going to happen. If you multiply both sides by 2, the coefficient of your quadratic term becomes 1. Right? That's the reason why we're multiplying by 2. So this becomes now, if you multiply this by 2, okay, both sides multiply by 2, you end up with d squared minus 5 halves d minus 6 equals 0. Still 0. What's 5/4 times 1/2? Oh, sorry, what's 5/4 times 2? Okay? Next, let's move the negative 6 to the other side by adding 6 to both sides. So you add 6 to both sides, you end up with d squared minus 5 halves d equals 6. Let's complete the square. What's 1/2 of 5 halves? Remember that when you're multiplying, when you're completing the square, remember what's 1/2 of your middle term, because that is what you are going to use in the next step. Yes. 5/4. What's 5/4 squared? Yes. 25 over 16. So you now have d squared over 5 halves minus 5 halves d plus 25 over 16 equals 6 plus 25 over 16. Okay, let's complete the square then. From here, you now have d squared. Remember what I told you? What's 1/2 of 5 halves? 5/4. That's your 5/4 right over there. Squared equals LCD is 16. 16 times 6 is 96 minus plus 25 all over 16. Okay, let's simplify that before we get the square root of both sides. 5/4. I'm just going to copy that, bring that down. 96 plus 25 is 121 all over 16. Find the square root of both. You now have d minus 5/4 equals plus or minus 11 over 4. Okay? And this now becomes, add 5/4 to both sides, add 5/4 to both sides. You end up with d equals 5/4 plus 11 over 4. D equals 5/4 minus 11 over 4. Simplify that. D equals 15 over 4. 16 over 4, which is equal to 4, and d equals negative 6 over 4, simplest form, negative 3 halves. That's it.